Four railroad cars is 2/19 of a train, not including the engine. How many cars does the train have? Okay, so that is the question. Feel free to use a calculator. But if you can figure this out, go ahead and put your answer into the comment section. And then, of course, I'm going to solve this problem step by step. But before we get going, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is John, and I have been teaching middle and high school math for decades. And if you need assistance in learning mathematics, check out my math help program at tcmathacademy.com. You can find a link to that in the description below. And if this video helps you out, or if you just enjoy this content, make sure to like and subscribe, as that definitely helps me out. Okay, so one more time. Of course, we are talking about trains. Who doesn't like trains? But we have four cars, right? Four railroad cars. This is 2/19 of the train, okay, but doesn't include the engine. How many cars does the train have? Okay, so first things first, when we're dealing with a math word problem, you always need to use the rule of three, okay? Now, what is the rule of three? Well, don't do anything until you read the problem at least 3 times. Once we've already read the problem and we're like, okay, how many cars does the train have? I got this information about cars and not some sort of fraction of this train. And, of course, I have these four cars. Like, how do I put this all together? Well, what we're going to need to do is model this situation. And this is where math becomes kind of fun and creative because different people can model this in a different way. And each way is perfectly fine as long as it makes sense to you and it would make sense to someone else. But in a situation like this, nothing beats a picture. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So if you can draw a quick sketch or diagram of the math problem that you're working on, that's always really a good starting point. Okay, so here is our train. Of course, we get to draw a little train as well. Matter of fact, I guess should connect it right there. So here we have four cars, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is our lovely engine, okay? And these four cars represent 2/19 of the total train. So let's just make sure we have this situation right. So four cars, okay, is 2/19 of the train, and that doesn't include the engine. Okay, so let's go down here and make sure we have this right. Okay, so 2/19, four cars, 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course, this train continues. These four cars represent 2/19 of the train, not including the engine. Okay, so how can we use this kind of visualization of the problem to help us out? Well, the question is what? Well, the question is how many cars does the train have? Now, anytime you have a math problem and it's like how many, if you're looking for some sort of unknown value, one of the best things you can do is use a variable to represent what you're looking for, okay? Because a variable is a number, okay? It represents a number, and if we assign this mystery number to represent the answer to the question, how many cars does the train have? Well, it has X cars, okay? Well, we need to kind of formalize this, right? So let's go ahead and depict it this way. So this train is going to have X total cars. Okay, so hopefully I didn't stumble and bumble too much to explain that. And again, there's different ways you can model this situation. All right, now this is effectively the problem, but what do we do here? Well, we have a variable and we can't answer this question here when you have a variable without setting up an equation. So we need to start thinking about how can we set up an equation? How can we pull all the information together such that we can find the value of X? So let's go ahead and take the next step, and that is, of course, assigning this variable in a kind of formal way. So when you are doing math word problems, you always want to be thinking in terms of who may be reading your work. Now, you might be saying, well, no one's going to read my work because once I get done with this thing, I'll throw this in the trash. Well, listen, that's creating a bad habit. Okay, if you want to get better at math, you want to create good academic habits. So every time you do a problem, you should always try to do it to the best of your ability. And even if you are the only person that is going to read your work, you want to write things nice and clear and structured. And this kind of goes to that rule of three. Okay, you want to take your time, understand what's going on, and then you want to start structuring the problem in a different, in a very logical manner. All right, so basically, you could have a sketch, a model of what's going on, and at this point, we're going to assign this variable x to equal the total amount of cars. All right, so once we've done that, then we want to establish an equation, which of course I have right here. I'll explain this in 1 second. Then we want to solve the equation and then answer the question, right? So, these math word problems, especially algebra word problems, generally have the same kind of flow, right? This is no different than telling a story. All right, so hopefully you get the main idea. Okay, so we're going to let x equal the total amount of cars. And now we can go ahead and write an equation because we know that 2/19, okay, 2/19 of the total amount of cars is 4 cars. All right, so let's go back and double check this. It's okay, well, 4 cars is 2/19 of the train. Well, how many cars is the train? Well, it's x cars, right? So 2/19 of this number is 4 cars, right? So if that makes sense to me and hopefully makes sense to you. So now we have a lovely equation. So 2/19 of x is equal to 4. And now what do we have to do? Well, we have to solve this equation. Are you struggling in math because of confusing lessons? Maybe the teacher's not showing you all the steps you need or things are happening too fast. Well, there is a better way. So come on over to my math help program at tcmathacademy.com. There you'll find clear step-by-step instruction by me that will definitely make a huge difference in your math success. So make sure to check out all my courses by following the links in the description. And because we are using a variable and we constructed a basic equation, well, we need to know how to solve a basic linear equation with fractions. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how we can solve for x here. The easiest way to solve this equation, and if you don't know how to solve equations, I'll give you a couple suggestions at the end of this video. But when you have a fraction in front of a variable like this, what we want to do is get a 1x. Now, let me go ahead and give you a quick example. If I have 2x is equal to 10, to solve for x, the object here is to get x is equal to a number. All right, but I have 2x, so how can I get just x or 1x? Well, easy. I can divide both sides of the equation by 2. So the golden rule of algebra is whatever you do to one side of the equation, it's perfectly fine as long as you do it equally to the other side. So 2 divided by 2 is 1 or 1x, so 10 divided by 2 is 5. Okay, so always be thinking when you're solving equations, how can I get that variable by itself? What do I need to do to one side? As long as I do it to the other side, I'm A-OK. All right, so when it comes to solving equations with fractions in front of the variable and the number in front of the variable is called a coefficient. So the easiest way to solve these type of equations is to flip the fraction upside down. So this is 2/19, so it'll be 19 over 2. And we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 19 over 2. Now, why is this the best way? Because 19 over 2 times 2 over 19, when I multiply fractions, again, when you multiply fractions, you're going to multiply the respective numerators by the respective denominators. You can see all this is going to be equal to 1, and that's what I want, okay? So what do I have to do to 2/19 in order for this to be a 1? Well, just multiply it by 19 over 2, but I got to multiply the other side of the equation by 19 over 2 as well. Okay, so 4 times 19 over 2 is going to be 4 over 1 times 19 over 2. 2 goes into 4, 2. 2 times 19 is 38, or 4 times 19. Get that number divided by 2. The answer is 38. Okay, so again, we have to be very careful on what the question is asking is how many total cars. So you could write down 38 cars, but if you weren't sure what your teacher was looking for, you could be like, well, 38 cars, well, that would be also 39 cars plus the engine in total. Okay, so now if some of you are saying, well, all right, this was a kind of a slick way to solve this problem, Mr. YouTube Math Man. And again, if you didn't solve this problem in this manner, no big deal. As long as you got it right, that's what counts. But eventually, if you are going to progress into mathematics, you're going to have to know some algebra. You want to, basically make sure you have the underlying skills when it comes to solving math word problems, right? So let's just talk about algebra real quick. So when you are dealing with algebra word problems, in this particular problem here, we use basic linear equations, nice well, not one step, well, yeah, I guess it was one step, but very basic linear equations. But as you learn more about algebra, you're going to learn all different types of topics like systems of equations, quadratic equations, and as you progress into even the more advanced algebra, like Algebra 2, you're going to learn about logarithmic equations, exponential equations, on and on and on. And each one of these type of equations and these topics are going to bring a new variety of word problems where you're going to have to use those underlying skills. So the whole point here is if you don't have the underlying, math skills or algebra skills, you're not going to be able to handle, the assortment of word problems that are going to be coming your way. So if you are having a tough time, in word problems or in mathematics, focus on getting the skills first. Okay. So the only way you could do this is to try a problem. If you don't understand anything, but like, okay, I don't know how to solve an equation, I don't know how to do this. It's like making yourself a little shopping list, and then you got to go and work on improving in those skills. Now, I'm going to leave you with this last little frame or this little idea here. If you are, someone that needs to kind of get back into learning math again, you don't want to just learn in a kind of a little informal kind of way. You want to approach math in a structured way. And the best way to do that is to kind of get into a course so you don't miss anything. And that is a big problem for students who are actively learning a course or people who want to kind of get back into math. They kind of want to do a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. That's not the best way. So if you need help in mathematics, I'm going to leave links to all my main math courses in the description below. For those of you that are not math students and just want to relearn math, you're just interested in it, check out my Math Skills Rebuilder course. That's a fantastic course. And if you just want to learn basic math, check out my foundation course. That's a little mini course you can get into. But hopefully this little video helped you out. And if that is the case, don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your mathematics adventures. Thank you for your time and have a great day.